Transition partners take mental health very seriously. We are now supporting Claro Mental Health Charity, who are local and based in Harrogate. We are working closely with Richard Kenny, who is the IT director at TechBuyer. Claro operates as a commercial workshop making goods for businesses which enable those with long-term mental health conditions to function in a voluntary real work environment. We would love it if you can join us in supporting this amazing cause and charity and donate what you can. Any amount would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much, and thanks to all our listeners.
Hi, this is the Let's Talk Leadership podcast. My name's Elly Greening.
And my name's Sandra Stewart.
On this podcast, we will be interviewing some of the UK's greatest tech leaders. We'll be discussing war stories, battle scars, and their learnings from their journeys.
Hopefully, you will pick up some great tips, learn from others' experiences, and have a good laugh along the way.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Let's Talk Leadership podcast. So this morning we've got a great guest on the show. We've got Carsten Windler. Carsten has spent the past 15 years of his career as an industry leader in software development for travel and tourism and e-commerce companies across Berlin. He has transitioned his career from a successful developer, progressing into head of development for the fourth largest travel operator in Europe. Carsten then had the opportunity to join a Berlin-based startup as a CTO for a market leader in booking software solutions before joining his most recent venture at KW Commerce as the head of development. So hello, how are you, Carsten?
Hello, I'm fine. I'm very happy to be here in your podcast. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. We're so happy to have you on the show. Max has said some wonderful things about you.
Oh yeah, okay.
Looking forward to hearing all about it soon. So I'm Sandra, nice to meet you. I've heard lots of great things about you via Max. So I'd like to just kick off with finding out a bit more about you, your background, your journey, how you got into tech, how it all kind of right from the beginning, how it all started. You know, when you were maybe at school, maybe you had a computer then, but just how kind of everything started. If you give me like a quick kind of 5-minute tour of your journey, and then we can go into some real deep leadership questions.
Okay, I will try to keep it short. I guess, as a kid, I started all my work on IT, actually with an Atari 130 XL from my brother. So I kept his computer occupied all the time. Then finally my parents bought me a Commodore 64. So this was my first real computer. And since then I actually was always having fun with computers, programming, but also playing them, of course, as a kid. But then after school and after the army, 1 year, I was like a young man without a clue. And what shall I do? I always thought I'm a bit too stupid for IT, like all the mathematics and stuff, informatics. I thought, well, then my parents came and said, okay, let's do some solid job, my son. Go do a bank clerk. I was like, okay, should be okay, I guess. Quickly I found out that this is, wasn't my thing. I made it through the whole 3 years, but
wow.
But afterwards I decided, no, this isn't it. Luckily, my parents enabled me to study. Of course, when you do a bank clerk, what will you study? Business administration. Yeah, this is a typical thing in Germany. So it's even has a little bit of a bad tone. Betriebswirtschaftslehre, BWL. It's like, oh, when you don't know what to study, you study Betriebswirtschaftslehre, business administration. So I did that, but there I was able to also get into like the business informatics, what it was called at that time. So I was able to study a little bit about informatics related to business. And there I had one course which finally kicked off my a manager would say pivot, probably. I pivoted there. Going to the PHP direction. It's my main programming language for the last 15 years. And that enabled me to go really then, to switch my career finally. So then I started as a small programmer at a spin-off at the Freie Universität Berlin, the university where I studied. It was a very small probably weird company, which changed the business model all 3 weeks. But yeah, it was great fun. And after a couple of stations, I finally arrived at the FDI. This is the fourth largest tour operator at that time. And there I had a very cool boss, Chris. And I still consider him as my mentor, so to say. So he really helped me, and he grew me into this, like the manager, the lead role. So at that point, I was a senior developer. I didn't really consider going to management. I never thought about that. But somehow I guess he saw something in me which I didn't see in myself. And so I had this progression to a team lead, and then finally I ended up at Holiday Pirates as the head of software development for 4 years. Had a great time there, really awesome. It was just that after 4 years, I thought, okay, is that it? I mean, I'm also not the youngest guy anymore, right? I have to see where my travel goes. And I thought, okay, my ultimate goal was then probably CTO at some point. I thought, yeah, what comes next? CTO, that's clear. So I finally got an offer, and I made it through the assessment process. Yeah, and then I got the job, I quit, and then I started exactly when Corona happened, right? So I had my onboarding exactly during the Corona times. So, bless you. So probably,
Bless you.
so probably this was, I don't know if this was related, but I started there, and I didn't felt happy really from the beginning. So this was quite weird. I was like, come on, I reached my goal. What's wrong with me? But yeah, I didn't manage to really feel at home there, feel familiar there. And also with the job, I was too disconnected from the engineering. It was more management, strategy, everything was no fun for me. I wasn't happy. So what do we do when you are not happy? When you cannot change it, leave it. And then, I found this job at KW Commerce, where I'm for 1 month now, a little bit over a month now. And here, quite happy now. I feel very, very much at home already. So I guess this was the right decision to take. So I hope this was under 5 minutes.
Fantastic. Brilliant. So your current role, actually, just going back to, so obviously you've had a team leader position, head of, moved into CTO, and now back into head of development. What, along that journey, what size teams have you been responsible for managing?
So at the peak times at Holiday Pirates, it was about 25 to 30, if I remember correctly. But of course, I was not the direct lead for everybody. So at peak times, I had there 10 direct reports, and these were also team leads then. So this was the biggest team I had at Booking Kit. It were like 5 developers, 4.5 basically. One had a half-time job, and now at KW Commerce it's 9 at the moment. So what we are planning to grow.
Okay, fantastic. And why do you feel that the CTO position wasn't quite right for you? In terms of what you were looking for. Obviously, you said you weren't happy, it wasn't something that you could change. Obviously, you are now. Why do you think it wasn't right for you?
That's a question I ask myself really a lot. I think it was probably I'm too much of the technical guy, the system, the software engineer, that I was actually, I was torn apart in this kind of, still I was probably stick in the head of development role, like really having fun with the guys doing, I don't know, code reviews and all the stuff which you do. But then I was also kind of, I should have put my emphasis more on the strategy, where I found this was not really my cup of tea, so to say. It wasn't really, I didn't really felt that this is the things where I'm good at. So at some point I felt in the morning when you get up and you think, oh, do I have to go to this meeting now? That's the terrible thing to do. And so, maybe I think in hindsight, I should have probably asked more about what the responsibilities of that role in that company would have been. So probably I was just going after the CTO because it's the goal, chasing your goals, but not really thinking about what that means. Of course, this is my learning from it. Rather, ask twice. And I was also
that's
not
interesting, because you've tried it, you've done it, and then you've changed things for you so that you can be happier, and therefore the work that you do and the team that you manage, the people that you look after are obviously happier as well, because they're getting the best out of you because you're doing what you enjoy. And I think quite often, many leaders, they aim to get to that C-level position, even though it might not quite suit them from a personality or leadership point of view. I mean, it'd be interesting to hear what your take is on that. Obviously, you've personally gone through that, and you've gone back into
absolutely
what you enjoy doing. Why do you think people do that?
So yeah, as I said, I think I can only speak for me, but of course there's this kind of you want to pursue a career, you want to it's the next level, so to say, and I think it's a big mistake to do so if you only go there for the job title. And because I felt, and this was really one of the biggest problems I had at Booking Kit, was that my motivation was really gone. So I felt like when I worked with the team, it was very nice. But as soon as I had the other duties, it was like, oh, I have to do that now. So, and that really killed my motivation in the big thing. And I was really not feeling so productive. So I had, of course, when I started there, I had my plans. Previously, before I started there, I made my roadmap, my internal roadmap, so to say. And then I came there and I felt like so powerless, because it was for me not the right thing, probably. So, and this is not fair for the team, of course. So especially at Booking Kit at the time, they really were waiting for the CTO, and really they do have quite some challenges on their roadmap. So me being in that position and not being the full manager I need to be was really not fair for the team as well. So this was also kind of which led me to the decision rather end it than being a half steam manager who's not really so much into it as he should be.
Yeah, I love that. I love how you were able to be really honest with yourself as a leader as well, because quite often we kind of kid ourselves, don't we, that, oh, give it another 6 months, give it another 12 months, it might get better. And it can't have been easy starting a new role during COVID and everything that's gone on as well. But then to be able to notice and see that it wasn't right so early on in the game, and take yourself out of that situation, I think you've done a really great thing there. And I think it's fantastic for us to have you on the podcast, because it's the first time we've kind of encountered this where a leader it got to sort of C-level and then stepped down from it and said, actually, I'm not best placed here. It's not what I enjoy. It's not what I'm passionate about. So it's really great to have you on the show to be able to share your experience. But I'd love to find out, I guess, a little bit of advice that you might be able to give to those who don't really feel moving into a C-level is right for them, but do want to progress their career. So they do want to kind of climb that corporate ladder, but stepping up to C-level wouldn't be right. What tips would you have for them, Carsten?
I think, that's a very good question. So I would... Maybe the thing is, does the company where you work in really allow you progressing? I mean, is it always the title which is important? So if people are looking too much on the title, I think this is a problem, because you can also have a fulfilled work life without having the better title. Yeah, so you can get more responsibility, etc. Of course, at some point you want to get this recognition from your employee by saying, you step up the career ladder. But probably nowadays I think people are very creative in creating positions, right? So like titles. Maybe there's some director in between which you could do, or anything. So probably negotiate that with your boss if you have a good connection. Yeah, of course. Because when you say, look, I would like to proceed my career, then it's also a warning sign probably for somebody, like, oh, he wants to probably shift somewhere else. So you have to, of course, be very careful. And of course, for my what I could think about is probably I was also thinking about shifting probably in the completely technical area again. So not doing management at all anymore, but really getting a developer, like full-fledged developer again. So this could also be maybe a good consideration. If you're not so happy with a management job. So I guess you have to find out what is your problem. Is it the management of people? And I enjoy really working with people. That was not my problem, luckily. But if it's for you just so exhausting to work with people, then probably that's not the right thing to do.
Yeah, I think as well, you can look outside the box as well. So you might be in a head of engineering role right now, or a development manager position leading a team of 10, but you could look to organizations where the responsibility is bigger. So you'd be leading a bigger team, more responsibility, but you're not sort of stepping up in terms of different job title, but the actual role itself and the remit of the role is larger. And that's quite easy to do. And I think sometimes people forget about that option as well, because once you've really aced your job and you can do it with you've really excelled as a head of engineering and you've got your team really covered and you're not challenged anymore, then it's good to look outside the box and as well, isn't it? But I really appreciate your honesty of that. And then there's a lot of people that we speak to as well that try a bit of leadership, and then I guess they say, actually, I prefer the technology, the hands-on development side, which is completely understandable. And there's loads of amazing opportunities within that space as well. So for me, I think the best thing to do in your career is to do what you're best at and what you enjoy. There's always going to be
your strengths. Yeah,
definitely. You've got to play your strengths. And it sounds like you do really enjoy being a leader as well and a manager of people. So I'd love to know a little bit more about your leadership style and how your teams would describe you, Carsten.
I think I consider myself like this servant leadership style. So I think people would describe me as really caring about my teams. So for me, the team is probably even more important than the actual project, because a project can go wrong. This is what happens. But if the team is still okay, then we can manage everything. So I'm looking after my team. I'm trying to grow everybody, finding out where are the strengths of the person, where can we really improve, right? So this is, I think, what people would describe me. Really, I'm trying to communicate a lot. So especially now, having again a second new team in 2020, my key is really to communicate as much as possible. I have regular talks every week with everybody, trying to find out not only what's on the business side, but also very much on the personal side. So I'm really caring about that, because then you suddenly find out things about people which explain maybe behavior, which you wouldn't understand when you only look at the business side. So getting personal interests, or maybe there's a struggle at home with a sick child or something, can happen, right? And with this additional information, I think it's easier to be a good leader. So I hope this is how the people I work with would describe me.
Is it quite an experienced team that you've got at the moment then? Because it is quite, I guess, a lot of people say servant leadership style is fantastic when you've got an experienced team who are already there. But when you're training and developing and staff need a bit more support, there can be, I guess, issues or things around servant leadership.
I actually don't think so. I mean, the team is very mixed, has quite experienced guys, but also very still young, but also very talented developers. So that's actually a very, very good thing to have. And I think it doesn't collide with the servant leadership as far as I understand it, so to say. So I can still, even if I have a not so experienced developer, I can serve them by like mentoring them, showing them where to go, just by sending them some article to read, some tutorial, and these kind of things. This is included for me in this kind of leadership style. This is what I meant when saying, like, trying to grow the people, the skills they have, looking at the strengths they have. Not so much at the weaknesses. I mean, weakness is a weakness. Maybe you can work a little bit around it. Usually it's communication is one thing when developers usually struggle, right? I had big problems with that myself in the past, but this is something you can learn, I think, but other things maybe not.
How
Are your teams remote? Are you all working from home at the moment, or are you going into the office, having a
Well,
meeting?
yeah, this is actually it's changing. I mean, we had this kind of 60% office and 40% home office rule, just to keep the office a little bit, less occupied. So because of Corona, obviously. Right now, this is changing in Berlin. We are getting too many new infections. So it will probably, I'm not sure at the moment, we said, let's go the 60% home office and 40% in the office. And we are prepared for going full remote again. And of course, and also we do have a team in the Ukraine, 3 guys. So we are partly remote team anyways. So it's kind of normal for the team at KW to really work that style. So luckily that is not a problem.
Okay, fantastic. It'd be really great to learn about what your one, throughout your entire career, what your one greatest achievement is that you could share with us.
This is this question I got also quite recently, and I thought about it, and I cannot really name one big achievement because I did not achieve it alone. So it was always the team effort. So when it comes to a project, I cannot really say I do have an achievement. For me, it's more the achievement that I have on my personal side to got to be at the position where I am now, with all the detours I took in my life and probably not going to the right direction the first time. So this is actually my achievement, having a good life, being happy with my child, spending as much time with my child as I can. So this is for me my greatest achievement. Maybe it's not on the project side, so rather on the personal side.
Yeah, no, I mean, the thing is that your personal achievements affect your work life, and your your leader and your leadership qualities come from being happy outside of work as well, don't they? And obviously there's you play a lot of emphasis on the people and caring about the people, which is great. And you've chose the right path for you now, which is great, because your people are going to get the best out of you. You're going to get the best version of you. And not everybody does that. Not everybody recognizes that. So I would say that in itself is a pretty big achievement. Fantastic. So in terms of your leadership style, and I guess communication obviously is a big part of that, and we've just touched on that. And you said that earlier on, you said your communication hasn't always been the best, and you've had to work on it. Developers, I guess, have got a long-standing reputation of not always having the best communication. How have you worked on that over the years, and what advice could you give to our listeners and viewers? What can they do to continue to learn the communication piece?
Yeah, so I always have this story in my mind. When I was studying, I had to do this one talk in front of many people, and afterwards the tutor, the professor, or whoever said to me, "Boy, that was bad," and I was like, "Oh gosh, so thank you for the motivation," but yeah, it was bad. What I did, but I kind of, this always nagged me. So and I was when I was a younger developer, so to say, I was at the conference and I was kind of admiring the people standing there. And I was like, "Oh, this is so cool! Why can't I do that?" And at some point, then I was asked if I don't want to do a talk at the conference. And then at that time I was feeling lucky. So let's do that. And it was quite a pain, but I think it was absolutely worth it, because right now I think this is suddenly it's fully switched that, and from being a thing which I absolutely don't like into something I really like to do. And so after having this talk, it kind of released me. So I wasn't nobody booed me away from the stage, so to say. So it was okay. And I developed kind of my own practices on how to get better in this, my own presentation styles. And so I had now a couple of meetups and conferences, not so many. I still would like to have many more, but the current situation, that's a bit complicated. But so in the end, it boils down to you have to go through it. Maybe not start with a conference because this is quite a big goal, but what you can do is always have some small, hold some workshop at your company, maybe. Just go there, try to speak open, like stand up and do a presentation at your company. There are a lot of company meetings also when they're virtual at the moment. You can still do that. So it's about starting maybe in a small group where you start where you feel comfortable, and then always try to reach the next goal. And yeah, I think this is it is about getting out of the comfort zone. And this,
yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah, some really good advice there. I think sometimes it's easier said than done, but I agree. Like just pushing yourself and doing things that get you out of your comfort zone more and more. I mean, I would never have done a podcast until Elly got me out of my comfort zone, and then it's become second nature to me now.
Well, you've signed up now, Carsten, because Max is going to listen to this podcast and he's going to get you signed up in something in Berlin now. So
awesome.
I've just made a note of that, actually.
That would be really nice. Yeah,
you've signed yourself up to do a tech event with us.
Okay. That would be awesome. Yeah, definitely.
I'd love to know then, you were at that really crucial time at Holiday Pirates where they went from, I guess, the underdog to a household name very quickly. And obviously that's a huge achievement and something to be really proud of. But in the background and then in the backing, you must have had to hire up and scale up very quickly as part of that. So I'd love to know some of your tips around how you attracted and I guess retained such top tech talent during those times, because we all know it's not easy getting the quality and the skill behind it. So how did you achieve that, particularly I guess at Holiday Pirates, because that's so interesting?
I think so we had at Holiday Pirates, we were lucky to have really that good name. And so many people, even on the streets there, I had this Holiday Pirates t-shirt and they, oh, you're working at Holiday Pirates? I was like, oh, yeah, of course. So this was really astonishing. So many people knew this brand and so many people are attracted to it. This is, of course, a bonus. And also it's a fancy website. When you go there, you see this beautiful holiday pictures, and who doesn't like vacations, right? So this was absolutely a benefit. And then we had, I think the office also was a very, very good benefit. So right now, this is not so important anymore, obviously, but at that time, I was taking care that I was showing the applicants around in the office. So to say, look, this is the place where we work, and really beautiful in Berlin at the Spree, the big river through Berlin. So this is definitely the nicest office I've ever worked in. And so this was one of the benefits we had. And also, of course, giving the people, so once we had them, of course, I never lied to them when I said what the projects were up to. We also had some legacy stuff to take care of, a lot of legacy stuff actually to take care of at Holiday Pirates. And so I always tried to have this kind of mixture between giving them something new to work on, maybe some fancy little pet project which they can do besides the work, so that you have, especially for young talented developers, you have to take care that they are not only working on legacy bug fixing stuff. This will bore them out and you will lose them pretty soon. But of course, you cannot always set up a new project as well. So just because you want to keep the people happy, you cannot just go and say, look, let's rewrite this website because we can, right? So this is quite a interesting balance. I think you have to go there, quite some challenge. So I think also the taking care of the people you hire, of course, they have to fit to the team. Obviously, this is very important. If you don't hire the correct people, then we had one hire which I never had this before. So we hired the guy actually. Well, we thought it was a cool person, and the team was completely disrupted. Yeah, and so the work dropped immediately from one week to another, and people were unhappy just because of one person we hired. So we had at that point we had to say say goodbye to that person because the team was more important, obviously. So. I think these are the key points. And retaining people is what I do now. Just try to care about them. always be in contact with them, always communicate, try to find out what's the problem. I think at Holiday Pirates, I sometimes didn't do the job very well there, I have to admit, when I look in hindsight. But yeah, that's how it is. I learned from that, trying to do my very best now at KW, that these kind of problems not happen. So at that time, maybe I was focusing on a couple of programmers more than maybe then, and I neglected some others, maybe, so to say. So this was a big
mistake. That's all reflection, and that's important to grow as a leader, which sounds like you're taking on. So that's really important. You mentioned there about giving your developers time to focus on projects that they're passionate about, as well as the legacy work. But what about yourself? What are you really passionate about in tech?
My passion is really about code quality, software quality testing. I could, helping the team to write good software. This is really my passion at the moment. So being a programmer myself, I know the feeling when you have a beautiful class and you wrote it and you're really happy about it, and I would like to print it out and put it as a poster on the wall, because it's like code can be beautiful in itself when you do it right. And this is what keeps me passionate of this job, to raise the same passion in people who don't have that at the moment, who are just writing code, and you see, oh God, okay, yeah, they don't care about the formatting or anything. It's a bit like, sloppy coding. But then you get them, and then you see how they really understand, okay, can be so much fun to write good code, to test the code. This is still especially in PHP world, it's still a big problem, unfortunately, that a lot of code is written without being tested. And also in startups, I had this very much piling up technical debt, and then coming to a point where it really becomes a problem. Yeah. So this is also, like, technical debt is also, or like refactoring in general, is one topic which also fascinates me a lot. It's how to keep software running, how to actually rescue an old legacy project from being scrapped. Maybe you can do it, refactor it, restore it, so that it can live another 5 years. Because this old code, it's old code, yes, but it's like battle-worn code. It's earned the money. I was referring to this one project we had at Holiday Pirates. It was a really old one, 5-year-old, I think. Yeah, you saw that a lot of people had their hands on it. Was a lot of mess in there, but still the code brought the Holiday Pirates where they were at that time. So it was a very important project. And this kind of things, this is where I'm actually passionate about. Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's great. Sandra, have you got another couple of questions, or?
I think I've gone through all mine now.
Perfect. That's good. Brilliant. Okay. Well, I love to finish the podcast then to find out about what you're excited on, what's about at the moment, what's on your agenda for the next sort of 12 months. Obviously, it's been a bit of a turbulent 12 months for everyone. I guess you're in your third role now within the past year, is that right? So it's been lots of change. So it sounds like you finally settled, you love your current position. I'd love to hear what you're excited about over the next 12 months.
Yeah, so apart from all the obvious Corona thing, we do at KW, I see a lot of things I can improve, I think, together with the team. Not that they did a bad job, not at all, but it's always, I think there's a lot of things. When you come freshly into a company where the team has worked a lot of years together, I can bring a lot of experience from other companies, from other projects. And I think this is what really keeps me exciting at the moment, starting with the team to implement these kind of things, like trying to convince them that this is the way to go. Of course, I don't want to just put it on their desk and say, let's do that, but I really want to convince them that this is the way to go for us. And this is what I think it will be a challenge. We do have a lot of code there, which we need to put our hands on. And 12 months, this is, I think, a good time frame for my first roadmap, so to say, that we can.
Sorry, I was just going to say, are there any growth plans at all? Or?
So I'm not sure if I can talk about that already,
Okay.
but we do want to grow, yeah. Although I mean, KW Commerce, being an e-commerce company, was quite lucky during the last 2 months. So people bought more online, right?
Yeah.
So this also was so the whole situation was not a financial problem for the company. Quite on contrary, KW wants to grow, and of course we will hire new people. We will look at hiring people in Berlin, but mainly also like remote in Ukraine. This is because there are also a lot of very talented developers there, and so we can grow the team basically in both locations. Yeah.
Fantastic. Anything that you're looking forward to outside of work personally? And there any kind of, I know obviously we'd all love to go on holiday as soon as we can, but anything, have you got anything planned for 2021 maybe?
Yeah, actually we do have the school vacations next 2 weeks, and actually we wanted to go to a little trip somewhere in Germany, but I think this will not happen because Berlin being now a risk area.
I think they've just banned it, haven't they? I think they've just banned travel between in and around Germany. And then you've got a curfew as well, haven't you?
So I think this will not happen, but yeah, we do have a lot of other things to do. We can here as well, also in Berlin, the surrounding. I hope we can still go into the surrounding of Berlin, so Brandenburg. There's awesome lot stuff to do. We love to go hiking or just bicycle tours. Also with my daughter, she's also like she really lives up when she's in the woods. She likes nature. That's really cute to see all the time. First, do we have to go? And then when as soon as she's in the woods, she's like, yay! And
then, my son's exactly the same. They don't want to go, especially when it's raining. As soon as you've gotten there, they absolutely love it.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what keep actually my child keeps me busy besides work. These two things at the moment are my main actions, and other than that, I don't know, just doing some. I'm reading a lot. Obviously, I need to gain knowledge still. So constant learning is very important in my job. But I'm lucky because this is actually my hobby. So I can combine my hobby and my work. So it's no problem. Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, it's been fantastic having you on the show.
Thank you so much.
If anybody wants to reach out to you, are you happy for them to contact you via LinkedIn or what's the best?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Fantastic. Brilliant. Well, it's been great to have you on the show. Really interesting. Looking forward to seeing all the traction that we get from this one. And we'll let you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much.
We'll be in touch about organising an event. We'll get
some that
sounds great. Yeah, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thanks, Carsten.
Thank you for having me here. It was really fun talking to you.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. See you later.
Bye-bye.